whether it was Ryan in Atlanta when he was at the age of 6 getting a call to, and it was written up in the local newspaper about some of the activities he had done, or while in the hospital, the San Jose Mercury News called out of the blue and wanted to talk to someone who was familiar with a program called the Starbright World Foundation, Starbright World Network, which is 5 hospitals that are linked via computer, where they have visual and computer link-ups, and sick kids who have been in the hospital can communicate with each other. They can type out messages, or they can speak via video and see each other on screens, and they can play games, etc. So Ryan had the opportunity to be interviewed and provide his feedback as to what that meant to him as a young man with cancer. And I think it was, I won't say it was ironic, but Ryan had a penchant for not only internalizing scripture, but also internalizing poetry. And he had been sharing a specific poem called Blue Skies for quite some time. And it's actually a poem that he has shared with the church body here. But Blue Skies for him was something that he shared whenever he could. And he would share blue skies with a nurse changing his bed, or a rec therapy person coming in and talking to him. But after this interview was done with this lady from the San Jose Mercury News, she's rushing out the door late for a deadline. He said, "Hey, I'd like to share a poem with you." And she stopped herself, and he said this poem for her, and you could just see kind of her jaw drop as this young boy who was very sick at that point in time, just out of his mouth came this wonderful poem about hope and faith. He shared that poem with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Ryan had a list of 10 or 15 questions for Arnold, and he had the opportunity to ask him all of his questions. And the last thing he did was ask him if he'd like to hear a poem, and on the phone you could literally hear kind of a silence after he was done from Arnold. And those are the kinds of things and impacts that Ryan had on people, besides the fact that obviously he was a kid suffering a terrible disease, but to be able to have the constitution to share a poem of hope and light to people he didn't know was one way that I believe that God used him.
Say a little poem for you. It's called Blue Skies. God has not promised skies always blue, flowers to pathways are all life's through. God has not promised sun without rain, joy without sorrow, peace without pain. God did promise strength for the day, rest for the labor, light for the way, grace for the trials, hope from above, failing sympathy, dying love.
All right, tip your hat. Show them that full head of hair. All right, a little thin, but all right. Say goodbye.
Bye.
From Stanford Hospital.
Thank you.